I'm live.
Quiet night.
We were under attack by squirrels, sir. They're organized and they have the numbers.
Little stinker trying to get in the birth here again?
Sir.
Hey, Ryan. John, I know this is not the most glamorous job in the world.
Look, I appreciate it very much. Yeah, we'll be there in 10 minutes.
It's gonna be a busy morning, boys.
Change your hair.
Last week.
I'm gonna be late tonight. I love you very much. Good morning, sir.
Ooh, meteorite.
John, what do you think of the president's proposal?
I don't know, sir. I mean, it's good to have less enemies, I guess.
You're a military man. You don't think he's putting us at risk?
Dark, you want to get that?
Great, sir, but I mean, if you feel that way, why didn't you run against me?
Oh, no. That's one job I never wanted. I like my
Meteorite.
I like my constituents.
I can't right now.
Well, I can.
Oh, come on, Mr. Speaker. I think you're pretty cool.
Hopefully there's something good. What's up, Shizuru? I'm really enjoying Rebirth of Souls story mode. A lot of people are. I've been seeing more people talk about the story mode than PvP. At least so far.
Absolutely, Mr. Vice President. Red tie's the way to go.
Did you get me in?
What do I get if I did?
What do you want?
Dinner, candlelight, and a promise that you will try to get to see things.
Done.
Waiter, Carol Kennedy, Deputy Special Agent in charge of the President's Secret Service detail. You will drive on the This is a favor.
No, I need another favor. I need a pass from your daughter. I don't understand, okay? Look, she's a freak for all this kind of stuff, so if I get her in, I'm like, Dad, I'm here. All right, I will owe you something if you want to just candlelight here.
Hope you're doing good though, Shizuru. Lava. How are you? I saw you in Makai's stream. I was also in there, but I said my what yo and went back to working. Oh yeah, I saw you playing Kayan. How was Kayan?
Wouldn't that be covered? Hey, little face, come on, get your stuff. Let's go, baby.
Yeah, Makai did look like he was low energy. Wait, is there a way to increase the size of the base?
You missed your talent show.
No, I didn't miss it. That's like next Thursday.
No,
Dark.
it was last Thursday.
Hmm?
Is there a way to increase the size of the base?
What did she do?
She was a flag twirler.
I mean,
She
Well,
just released 6
uh,
tapes, John.
PAL box down next to it, but
Very nice. Just have a little bit of a reminder.
Come on, I'm not your secretary,
I'm
John.
not asking you to be my secretary.
Well, we Might need to do
I'm
that.
trying. I'm trying really hard to be in your life.
It's a little late for that one, you say.
I went to playing with
What
Cayenne.
time is that?
Now I just feel bad. I mean, Cayenne is good,
Are you
too.
mad at me? Just tell me. Will you be on that all day long?
A lot of people compare Cayenne's playstyle to Ikaku's, except Ikaku is
Well, it
more,
sucks because
you gotta constantly go in.
want this, but
Lame.
you don't even know what it is.
So I don't know. It's a nice
Do you
plus.
really think the bribe's gonna work?
Yeah, I'm hoping so.
We're both adults here, John.
Speak for yourself. But can you please just open it? For me,
What is it?
it's a pony, baby. I don't. Come on. For me, please just.
These are White House passes.
Yeah. That might mean
So I
you're
haven't
in the
been
White House.
playing him good.
And that
Ah,
you
I see.
have a job in Secret Service.
I mean, when I do have the time to, I've been just practicing Toshiro. I don't know why, but Toshiro might be that character for me.
Of course, he's just short like you.
Bro, but I'm a Komamura main, bro. But everybody makes fun of Komamura mains, saying they're horrible people. Like, I'm not a horrible person.
I know what's up. Hey,
But why'd you go silent?
The treaty's gonna be a tough sell here. How's it going there?
Dark?
we lose him, and we lose that southern voting bloc. This goes down. We're gonna have a one-term president.
I know two people who wouldn't have a problem with that.
That's crazy. That is crazy.
What you mean?
Bro, I'm not a terrible person, right, Dark? And you just went silent. Yeah, I'm not a horrible person, right, Dark?
Did you know that 1.5 million people visit the White House every year?
No, I did not know that.
I don't know.
I'm sorry.
What do you mean you don't know? I haven't done
I
anything
don't know what you be
horrible.
doing.
I haven't done anything horrible to
Did
you.
you know the White House used to be called a presidential palace?
Nutrition food in Palworld. The jam-filled bun. Cook these local snacking food baskets to boost your pal sanity and keep them
No, you don't. All I did was twirl flat. Stupid.
You do know that you don't have to do that all day.
Why?
That thick skin. You're 11. Good morning. Good morning, sir. How are you? Fine, thank you. Good. Have a lot of these.
What are you guys looking for?
Explosives.
Can Palworld be played in single player? Yes. Without PS Plus? I think so.
Did you know that the president travels in an 18-ton military armored modified Cadillac CTS built to withstand gas, chemical, and missile attacks?
That's on the internet.
Wikipedia.
Captain, please update. Go on down, check your weapons.
I'm literally finding a matchup. Oh, Kumamura. Bro, Kumamura's fun. But I get that people think he's a crutch character because he's a giant.
So how's your blog?
I get it. It was just weird to see that
What do you mean have some blog?
freaking Syriax was even saying Kumamura
20
made
seconds.
glue.
Hi, I'm Carol.
Do you think we'll get
Carol?
a Core 4 release window on March 31st? By the end of March? Honestly,
Deputy Special Agent Perry.
I think that would be a good time frame to do things.
This is Emily.
It would. It will also make
My
sense.
father is a very special man.
If they don't do it, it's not like it's like the end of the world or anything.
To say that.
get started.
Okay. Yeah, she's. So I gotta ask, you didn't marry Jim 30 from college. Like, I was.
An asshole, yes, he was. This is my colleague, Special Agent Todd. Standard Secret Service protocol requires a two-agent review for every interview. You're not to look at Agent Todd.
I'm sorry if I just looked at him.
You're only to look at me.
Please.
Man, we need ingots and leather.
Subject is John Kale. Born 1980, grew up in the District of Columbia, graduated Hill High in 1999. Looks like he bounced from job
Like you
to
see.
job,
Yeah.
limo driver.
Do we have a B guard on the base right now?
Bro, I caught a B guard, but I don't know where it is.
In 2002, met a child 6 months later, filed for divorce in
Are you
2005.
sure you don't have it in your
So
thing?
you did 3 tours of
No,
the
I'm
plant,
sure.
and you were winging thermal codes. You received a silver star for pulling a Corporal Dawson from a
Jeez.
burning Humvee.
ID tech.
Yeah, we might need to catch a B guard.
Players who come in from
Oh
this
my
video,
god, this man Corey
congratulations on
finally
entering
uploaded.
the green server and
What?
exclusive VIP
Finally?
channel. Enter the
Do you think
code
Core 4...
PW7
Okay, definitely Core 4 will have to be this year.
Your job was to catch
It
a
has to be this year.
Actually, protection.
Corey uploaded finally?
Special Agent Todd.
About time.
Wait a second,
These people always bothering him, bro. These new people.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of...
why do you
I'm not a fan of these new people, bro, because they be doing the most.
Okay, this job requires a university degree, doctorate, 2
Oh,
W-2
he
shells,
is
and
just
a
way
career.
better than you. Yeah, get out of here.
Dude, oh god. Certificate of graduate completed. I'm sorry, I didn't have our little study session yet.
We need to get a B guard though.
Spoken for assistant
Mm.
to spook attachment from
Okay, okay. Dark, do you see this? This island to the right next to this furry with purple on. The furry with purple.
I have 10 times more experience.
You see that?
What?
Okay. Look at where I am on the map.
Um, okay.
You see where I am?
Yeah.
Over here was where I saw the B guards. This is where I saw a lot of bees though. And also, if you want, we could kill a bunch of elks here.
You can dice.
When symptoms try to take control, rapid relief with Rinvoq. Check.
When players try to slow me down, I got lasting remission with Rinvoq. Check. And many were in remission even at nearly 2 years.
And Rinvoq helped visibly reduce damage of the intestinal lining. Check.
Rapid symptom relief. Lasting remission.
And visibly reduced damage. Check.
Rinvoq lowered the ability to fight infections. Before treatment, test for TB and do blood work. Serious infections, blood clots, some fatal. Cancer, something
But yes, I do think Core 4, it's got to come before the end of this year. Honestly, I think it's going to be before April. Is that crazy to say?
Put UCA pros in check and keep them there with Rinvo.
What?
Ask your gastroenterologist about Rinvo.
Okay, I'm gonna come back and drop off some elk meat because I killed a couple low-level elks over here. There's a lot of them.
Milk-bone peanut buttery bites, a collab by Milk-bone and Jif.
Liberty Mutual is all she talks about since we saved hundreds by bundling our home and auto insurance.
Hey, Clint. It's pronounced Bibberty. 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 Now she's mocking me. Very mature.
Hey, that's enough, you two.
Hey, I'm not the one acting like a total baby.
She's two.
Only pay for what you need.
People who come to Cricket stay with Cricket, like Gwendolyn.
I stay with Cricket because they tell it like it is. The price on my plan is the price I pay every month. That's it.
Welcome to life without hidden fees. Welcome to Cricket Nation. Smile.
Okay,
You're on
I'm
Cricket.
going back. I'm gonna try to get another bee though.
Come to the table. It's what we all bring that matters. Sam Kelly Brewer. Bring your best.
On your period, sudden gushes happen. So don't let them gush to you. Thanks to Always Ultra Thin. With rapid dry cleaning pads that are squished 2 times faster. Glow, clean and comfortable. Always fear no gush.
This combo meal's got combinations. Make this thing your own creation. Entree, drink, and choice of size. Oh, and it's free to swap fries. Feed it. Add bigger wings.
You make me feel so miserable.
Flonase relieves your worst allergy symptoms, so you can start feeling better the same day.
Alright, I'll be right back.
Flonase.
I really hope I don't die.
You want to take this one?
Sure. What's going on here, buddy?
I'm becoming a Kung Fu master.
Huh.
We have to pass this wireless speeds, right?
Yeah, we've got Spectrum.
Well, I used it to absorb hundreds of years of Kung Fu knowledge in like 20 minutes.
I don't think it works that way.
Oh, it does.
What's that?
Touch that.
Master anything with the fastest wireless speeds. And internet customers get one mobile line included for 12 months with Spectrum.
The perfect gifts. The Jewelry Exchange has quarter carat studs $69, Huggies $149, jovial earrings $299, loose diamonds 1 carat lab $599, 1 carat GIA $19.90, 2 carat lab $12.90, 2 carat GIA $59.90. Tennis bracelets are just $5.99 per carat. 3-stone rings $8.99, 2 carat studs $9.90, natural $19.90. All guaranteed to appraise for double by factory direct and save. The Jewelry Exchange Tustin.
We've heard that your agency is special.
That is very sad. We are specialists in metaphysically engaged properties. Homes that have unique barriers to sell. Dear.
No, hell no!
Strap in, Buttercup.
Good morning. Light day at the White House today. Eagle will remain on the 18 acres. He has phone calls to the congressional leadership. First Lady is back tonight.
Empress's wheels down at 1845. They're supposed to have a private dinner at the residence, but you know how they are.
So we should have his dance on Obelisk, Marcel's usual.
Lucille, it's sushi.
No, she's off sushi. Membership that thing on Japan.
Carol, how are you still awake?
Kathy Lynn Patriotisms.
Threat matrix?
Well, threats against POTUS have quadrupled since the G8 speech. PID's keeping an eye on a guy in Buffalo they're worried about.
Visitors today?
Just the AV guys again. A DC Sonic, they're replacing the surround system in the movie theater.
First Lady must be thrilled.
And she's coming back tonight? Carol? She's coming back tonight?
Yes, sir. Wheel sandwich, 1845.
Yes. Of course. As many of you are well aware, this is my last week here. So I want to make this clear to everybody. If there are any congratulatory cakes or any of that nonsense, I will be compelled to use them force. I hate you. I hate you all.
Man, I gotta pee. I'm gonna go back to base and pee.
All right, baby, I just gotta get my weapon on too.
Hey, I have to sign out, sir. Hello?
Yeah.
You guys here for the tour?
Do you think the instinct will be working?
Great. Gather around, everyone. Gather around. My name is Donnie, and I'll be your guide today as we take a walk through American history. But first, I want to give you all a very warm Washington welcome to
Lava, tell me about it. Let me hear about this Ichigo player right now. I'm sorry, I'm back. I had the piss. But we good. We good though. Gotta keep an eye on my cake.
Whether the visions were real or just an elaborate hoax to boost morale, the city of Antioch was once again in Christian hands. But it would never be returned to the control of the Eastern Church of the Byzantine Emperor. Bohemond reneged on the promise he had made to Alexius the year before and crowned himself Prince of Antioch.
So I was playing Komura, and literally all he was sparing Getsuga over and over and over, like his life depends. Well, against Komura, Komura doesn't even have a range option. Why are you doing that? That's actually crazy.
Work with the Byzantines to defeat the Muslims of the Near East was no longer sustainable.
Great swathes of territory were now in Crusader hands. Baldwin controlled all the land around Edessa, and Bohemond the territory around Antioch. Both were now very rich men. By the end of 1098, as the leaders became increasingly consumed by running their new principalities, they began to stall on whether to continue the march on to Jerusalem.
There are huge arguments.
And he rage quit? W.
The leaders,
good job, Lava. That's what he gets, bro.
Where the crusade should go next. Should they immediately try to march from Jerusalem? Should they recover their strength? How long should they wait? What route should they take? And the potential is for the army to literally just fall apart, to go into different directions, for people to start returning home, to lose their impetus entirely. And it comes very close to this.
As the crusade leaders squabbled, the troops demanded that the army march southward to Jerusalem. To them, the true goal of the crusade had been forgotten. Their anger and frustration finally boiled over in a small town 2 days' ride from Antioch, called Marat al-Nuba.
So this is where the legacy of the First Crusade really took
Yeah,
place.
it's like, how you like it?
For any historian to look at this
How you
place,
like it?
this is where
Bro,
the First Crusade
Stark
really
players
cement
don't even deal with...
legacy.
It would be here
I've never seen a Stark player, like, not deal with spam. And also, just a Stark player in general. I don't see anybody playing Stark player. I don't even see anybody playing Stark. I was about to say, I don't see anybody playing Stark players.
And has Granger on his side, offering access to technical product specialists and the scale to deliver fast, so he can keep his business in gear and always moving forward. Call clickgranger.com or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
America is blessed.
Lava, have you seen any Stark players lately? I don't see anybody playing Stark. To be real.
They paid the price in body and spirit so we can enjoy our freedom.
Joining the military during a very active period of war, I absolutely went into it with the idea that I could die. Both my legs were amputated due to an IED that I sustained while I was deployed in Iraq. I mean, I'm still here, so there must be something more.
Far too many struggle to get the care and the benefits that they earn through service and sacrifice. Disabled American Veterans is a lifesaver for our injured heroes. They help service members of all ages get the help they need, but they can't do it alone.
There were moments of frustration. You can't do this anymore, you can't go here anymore. I absolutely felt like I lost my purpose.
I'm asking you to join me and other patriotic Americans and donate only $19 a month, just 63 cents a day. Your monthly donation will help veterans like Nick Kolchar. For over 100 years, DAV, Disabled American Veterans, has been fighting to keep our promises to our injured heroes. You'll help them get the financial and medical benefits they earn and receive the care and emotional support that they need. When you call or go online right now with your pledge of just $19 a month, we will send you this.
I should count this. How many? Bro, you know what? Do you have a recording of it?
The tunnel below had failed, and the ground above was starting to crumble. As emergency responders raced to the scene, journalist Montse Español witnessed the drama unfolding.
There were a lot of policemen, firemen, and all the neighbors were very nervous.
Homes and businesses were at risk of total collapse. More than 1,000 people were urgently evacuated, but worse was still to come.
Most of it? I'll try it. Yeah, post that, because I want to see
later,
it.
a two-story parking garage was swallowed by a gaping hole.
He's already over 20?
A massive sinkhole, nearly 100 feet wide,
Spamming
and over
20
100
gets
feet
attention.
deep, had opened up in the heart of this Spanish neighborhood.
Hundreds, even thousands of tons of rubble fell into the tunnel. Luckily, the workers escaped unharmed.
Thankfully, no bystanders were injured either.
It was a miracle that nobody injuries because it is a highly populated area.
As the dust settled, everyone wanted to know, why had this happened? Was the metro?
And I definitely had his. It was June of 2013, and I was getting up for softball practice. My mom texted me and said, "I think your dad's dead," because we saw it on TMZ. My mom said she called my dad's cell phone, and Connie answered the phone. She was like crying hysterically. My mom said, "What the happened, Connie?" I said, "Connie, do not tell me he's dead." I know Connie killed my dad. I will never not think that she did. She took him away from me, and I hate her for it.
Tell me when you posted it, Lava.
Jack snaps and unleashes a slap that forever.
The NTSB's ambitious reconstruction of TWA 800 is finally complete. It confirms the investigators' fuel tank explosion theory, finally putting any bomb conspiracy theories to rest.
I was really pretty proud of the definitive nature in which we were able to show where the airplane breakup began.
After more than 4 years of investigation, the NTSB recommends in its official report that all Boeing 747s undergo a review and repair of older wiring. They also call for additional insulation between the fuel tanks and the air conditioning system.
There was a lot of design challenges, there were a lot of certification challenges, and these recommendations went forward to both the FAA and Boeing, but it was all hardware related.
Despite the constant speculation in the news, the NTSB perseveres in finding the true cause. Just 4 years later, investigators face a similar challenge when another devastating crash makes international news. Charles de Gaulle Airport, Paris. One of the busiest airports in Europe, and the only place in France to catch sight of the world's most famous passenger plane, the Concorde.
Concorde flying was a real show. I mean, everybody was watching. It was spectacular.
Air France 4590. You want Whiskey 10 or Romeo?
I need all the runway, eh?
Okay, taxi for Romeo. Air France 4590.
Today, Captain Christian Marty will be flying the Concorde.
Clearance right. All the right is clear.
First Officer Jean Marcot will monitor the instruments. With more than 23,000 flight hours between them, Captain Marty and First Officer Marcot are among the world's most elite pilots.
Air France 4590, runway 26 right, clear for takeoff.
Everybody ready?
Yes.
The Concorde is a technological marvel. It's the world's only supersonic airliner.
Far green.
Its takeoff speed is 198 knots, 40 knots faster than a 747.
V1.
They've reached V1, also known as decision speed. They are now going too quickly to abort the takeoff.
Watch out!
Suddenly, the plane begins veering left. They are running out of runway. Captain Marti has to lift the plane into the air.
Port 590, you have flames behind you.
Roger. Watch the airspeed.
The plane has lost 2 of its engines.
No time.
The crew can't outfly the fire that is rapidly consuming their plane.
No!
A supersonic marvel of modern aviation crashes into an airport hotel. All 109 passengers and crew on board the Concorde are dead. 4 more people have been killed on the ground.
Everyone had a dream of flying on the Concorde. And when you saw those horrific pictures, you had the sinking feeling that this might be the end of supersonic travel for a while.
Go sit down somewhere. Stop.
Trump's been busy these last few days. Mass deportations, tariffs, killing DEI.
Good work, sir.
Making America great again. Yeah. The Daily Show. News, breathable fabrics.
What is that?
Spikeless traction.
What you mean?
The most comfortable golf shoe in the game.
What is that, bro?
Grab your pair today.
So,
got some chips.
There were many filled attempts to
Yeah, splice these ribs together.
all my wedding photos.
Hey, take your time.
I trusted you.
I'm trying to see what this Ichigo did to lava. Just spam it, get some potentials.
My teeth, so it still felt like me. My new
Let's
teeth
see.
have improved my life and changed my future. Thank you. You're so welcome.
Finance the smile you want for as low as $148 a month per arch. Schedule a free consultation. Meet Milo. He's part border collie.
I need leather.
Meet the Bissell
You
Little
need leather? Well, start to kill him.
state mover and part party animal patrol. Bissell, a new breed of clean.
Domino's new Parmesan stuffed crust pizza tastes like never before. Because Domino's has never had stuffed crust before.
Where's my butcher's knife?
But we do now. So get
Who you gonna kill?
topping Parmesan stuffed crust pizza for $10.99 when you mix it.
Alright, I got so much like vault worms. I gotta go. Wait, what?
I didn't even know how I was gonna buy food for my kids.
I picked up the phone.
You know what? I might need to make myself one too. Just
National
to
debt relief can significantly reduce the
just
amount you
kill.
owe. Now that I'm out of debt,
Because
I
we
feel
do need the
free,
meat.
feel powerful.
I'm doing the things I want to do, singing in a chorus. I'm traveling with my husband.
I'm thriving. Our family's thriving.
Call or visit nationaldebtrelief.com to get started.
Insurify. At Insurify, we make it easy to cut your car insurance bill in half. Half? How? Just go to Insurify.com and compare dozens of quotes in a few clicks. We cut out the middleman so you can cut your bill in half. Go to Insurify.com and see what
Don't forget the plant.
your car insurance.
I am naturally biased because I just joined Bridge as the chief creative
Don't forget the
officer, but
plant
I'm just
stuff
here. It's
because we
slim,
need
it's hard,
the
locked in, it's awesome, it's comfortable, I love
we
it.
need the
I-
stuff.
And Bridge.com has like an unlimited lifetime warranty, so you don't have to worry about it falling apart. Check it out at Bridge.com.
There are
hundreds of things that can affect our sleep. But what's affecting yours? Sleep Doctor's home sleep test brings the precision of a sleep lab into the comfort of home to help you get answers and unlock a lifetime of great sleep. Start now at sleepdoctor.com/TV.
At Public Rec, we develop premium performance fabrics that are built to last and hard to live without. Anchor pads, with their various sizing options, are designed to fit your life's moments. More comfortable than jeans, more stylish than sweats.
The chomping in my ear.
What you mean?
Bro, I hear it every chomp. I should have sent it to you on PlayStation. Oh, you know what? Yeah, you could have done that. I forget that you can.
Eyes are on French investigator Alain Boyard, who leads the inquiry into what caused the first fatal crash in its 31-year history.
We were dealing with a very complicated plane that had been completely destroyed by fire.
Perfect.
There were
Perfect.
very few pieces left.
Yes.
Boyard's team begins their investigation on runway 26 right.
Looks like they were bleeding fuel.
We became interested in the runway because the event happened during the acceleration for takeoff. First of all, it was obvious that there were traces of fire that were still visible on the runway, as well as traces of fuel and many airplane parts. So we had to collect all these parts to preserve them for the investigation.
Also, Dark, we have a Mewtwo. Or Lunaris.
They are rushed to the lab to see if their data survived the fire.
Oh, what?
She's gonna be helping around. I see they're loading. Just you see him?
Oh, yeah.
Among the first pieces
Yeah, I needed her and
was a part that was quickly identified as being
I needed her and Anubis to breed real quick. To make something.
One in the tail section.
Man, we need so many ingots though.
I see that is a male Lunaris.
Yeah. And I have a female Anubis.
Okay.
Yeah. I had to make them breed.
Must have been a massive fuel leak. It's the only way to explain the fire.
Man, we need ingots, bro. Oh my god.
Fortunately, technicians have salvaged the cockpit voice recording.
Okay, let's get going.
Boyard hopes the pilot's cockpit.
Okay, well, I'm going to the start area. I'll be back.
But just before liftoff.
Wait, actually? Dark, you should actually go where I did.
Like some kind of explosion.
Because there is a B. If you're looking for B grades, and Alyssa B, then come to the location that I'm going right now. It's 4 videos. First 2 are Komura, the other 2 Ukiura. Bet. Yeah, if you come to this location, Dark, honestly, you could kill most of the stuff over here. That's where I got all the elks. The elk meat. But most importantly, if you go forward and left, whole new area. And that's where I found the bees first off. But I'm going to the beginning area.
Tires are reinforced with a strong rubber belt and filled with high-pressure nitrogen. When they rupture, they can act like small bombs.
Maybe a piece of the tire flew up and burst the fuel tank here in the wing.
So what could have caused a relatively new tire to erupt?
We uncovered many incidents where tires were punctured or destroyed, and in some cases, the rims as well.
Investigators take a closer look at the debris from the runway.
Maybe something cut into the tire.
they discover a strange metal strip.
La forme de la pièce qui a été retrouvée, donc de la bande
The
métallique.
shape of the metal strip that we found was exactly the same shape as the tire debris.
I want to know what this is and where it came from.
It didn't look like anything that came from an aircraft to me.
But metallurgical tests show it was made of lightweight titanium, often used in aircraft parts. It's covered in a reddish-orange adhesive used in aviation repairs. But it doesn't match any known pieces of the Concorde. Investigators work to narrow down which plane it comes from.
Nous avons recherché par élimination.
We searched by elimination.
Et nous avons
We knew that it was a strip of metal that didn't come from the Concorde.
Investigators pore over aircraft schematics.
Level 13 dungeon. Okay.
The metal strip looks like it could be from the engine of a DC-10.
I'm gonna go in this dungeon.
Certainly, there was a great deal of anticipation. Could this be really from a DC-10?
Investigators search through the flight records for runway 26 right and make a crucial discovery. A DC-10 took off just minutes before the Concorde. Investigators are convinced the thin strip of metal fell from that DC-10,
V1.
where it ruptured a massive Concorde tire that fatally burst the fuel tank. The investigators' theory may explain one of the most shocking aviation disasters
Alright,
the world has
we're
ever
gonna
seen.
bring some more sulfur back as well.
All they have to do is prove it. Investigators test their theory that a metal strip could have burst the brand new Concorde tire. Using an identical tire, they run over a replica of the metal strip with a weight equal to the flight load, 25 tons. They get their answer.
You can't ask for better proof than that.
However, if a piece of flying debris ruptured the tank should be bent from the outside in. But the tank fragment from the runway is bent in the opposite way.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna come back.
An unprecedented mystery.
I'm gonna come back.
Punctured the Concorde's fuel tank from the inside.
The trust. I'm gonna kill everything in here. I'm gonna send them in Discord in a bit, just waiting for the upload. Oh, okay. Again, whatever's easier for you is fine.
is the fuel itself.
When a high-speed projectile hits a container full of liquid, it can set off a tsunami-like wave, powerful enough to rupture the container at a different point from where it was struck.
We set it so the fuel tanks are completely full.
Bouillard hopes a computer simulation will show if that's what happened.
Okay, let's watch what happens. Fire.
Investigators work to recreate the exact moment the tire fragment hit the fuel tank. But conditions have to be just right.
Fire.
And when they are,
we've got it. Well done.
firing a piece of tire at the tank can make it burst from the inside out.
It was a revelation to all of us, and indeed a very plausible explanation.
Nous sommes convaincus que
We were convinced that from the moment the plane rolled over the metal strip, a catastrophe was inevitable.
c'était inévitable.
When the tire blows and the fuel ignites, the crew faces an unprecedented dilemma. At V1 speed, the massive jet needs more than a mile to stop. But there's only 1,000 yards of runway left. The pilots have no choice but to put the burning plane in the air.
Un arrêt décollage initié.
Aborting the takeoff at 180 knots would also have led to the total destruction of the aircraft.
Également de l'avion.
What's the airspeed?
The crew fights hard to keep the plane flying right up to the very end.
accident report makes a number of recommendations to make the Concorde safer. Engineers designed stronger tires that can better withstand the plane's high speed and immense weight.
How do I transfer this to the
Airports are
truck?
reinforced with Kevlar to prevent leaks. Airport authorities also implemented better systems for monitoring runways and removing debris.
What is puzzling is that you have a piece of metal on the runway.
See, that's my
It turns
compressor.
out to trigger one of the most catastrophic crashes in aviation history.
Mail, uploads, files.
The Concorde does fly again.
That's the song.
But the return of the
Yeah, I
world's
know.
only
That's why I
supersonic
said
plane
send it to
doesn't
me
last
so I can
long.
return
I
it.
did.
Email?
Years later, with rising costs and falling profits, the Concorde is retired. It makes its last flight on November 26, 2003.
It was such front page news because people were sad.
That's gonna be one of the
I
songs.
think the public realized it was
And
probably
then
the
for
end of an
the,
era.
I have to put it in there.
When tragedy strikes, whether in the middle of an ocean or in the heart of a city, aviation disasters grip the public's attention and make headlines around the world.
What people really want to know is they want to know that somebody's got the facts and it's being addressed so it doesn't happen again.
But even in the midst of a media frenzy, investigators persevere and solve critical cases.
We don't care about blame. We don't care about speculation. We want to know what the hard facts are, and we want to follow it wherever it leads.
Extreme turbulence in the Talkeetna Mountains complicates an Air Force combat assessment. An aerial surf scout
So just send it to you and you transfer it to Dropbox.
takes a
No,
dangerous
I'm gonna
turn.
send you a link, and you can put that link in the
And a
Dropbox.
747
Do you
with
download
landing
it
gear
or upload
failure.
it? Is that what happens?
I have to download it
On the runway.
and then factor it into a PDF file.
A PDF file?
International Airport.
Gateway
to America's
Okay,
last frontier.
just some.
More than 700 airfields, hammered by sub-zero temperatures and Arctic snowstorms.
Oh,
It takes a major
darn,
leap
you got
to
another
launch
Bushi
it.
from the bottom, from A.
Alaska brings a lot of elements, especially when it
Yes.
goes to -40. It's definitely fun flying. It keeps you on your game.
To keep Alaska moving, no matter what.
This is runway 32. Final is clear. We're cleared for takeoff.
Nearly 1 million flights a year
It's a big responsibility.
in a $4 billion industry. This is ICE Airports, Alaska. The third busiest cargo hub on the planet is Anchorage International Airport. From its 3 runways, over 41,000 wide-bodied freighters a year carry over 3.4 million tons of goods to over 60 destinations worldwide. 80% of flights crossing the Pacific rely on Anchorage. Without the airport, global supply chains could collapse.
Maybe superseded. Affirmative.
Every winter, the airport receives over 74 inches of snow. But it's never closed for weather.
And let's keep it pretty tight, everybody in the back.
Today, airfield maintenance foreman Jeremy Hands and lead plow operator Tom Rogers are clearing 4 inches of snow from over 63 miles of asphalt.
You have to do the best you can to get the planes on the ground
up the pace a couple miles an hour.
A 40-mile-an-hour wind is blowing across the airport. Crosswind gusts have made 2 out of 3 runways unsafe.
The winds right now are pretty strong.
Planes are lining up to touch down on
We need
the only
another
open landing
cooler.
strip. Tower coordinates the approaching aircraft. But a distress message from an incoming plane puts the entire airport on high alert.
Bob.
A 747 on a 6-hour flight from New York has detected a fault with its wheels. Without landing gear, the plane could be forced to skid across the asphalt on its belly. The emergency call.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
Comes to Operations Officer Bob Reef.
We just got notification that the wide body has declared an emergency. He has a gear issue. This is about the most serious alert that we can have.
In 2022, a passenger flight to Miami with landing gear failure crashed and caught fire. It closed 2 runways and hospitalized 7 passengers.
If he can't get his gear down, then we have the huge potential for a aircraft crash on the runway.
I just caught 3 more cows.
Oh, perfect.
Fire trucks are now rolling out behind us, and they will position themselves along the runway.
Tower clears the airspace of other planes.
That's something on PlayStation? Okay, when I get the time to, I'm gonna watch that, because why is that Ichigo doing that to you? Watch it now. You know what? You're right. I'm gonna watch this first one.
Alaska is a 10-hour flight
Gets
from
content
9%
1, 2.
unindustrialized
He
nation.
grabbed. Gets Katencho, grab.
Strategically vital. The
Gets
saying
Katencho.
goes, whoever controls
Gets
Alaska
Katencho.
controls
Gets
the world.
Katencho. Gets Katencho. Why is he doing that so much?
Military does it with air power.
Bro, this dude is actually, like, just spamming.
Is Joint Base
What?
Elmendorf-Richardson, known as
Bro, I would have been pissed. But also, I do see what you could have done as well. What's up? I'm just gonna call you Walk. How you doing, Walk? I'm not saying the other part. How you doing? Okay. Okay, I see. This first one. Okay, this first one, I see how you could have played differently.
The C-17's top speed of over 500 miles an hour and a lift capacity of 170,000 pounds makes it the U.S. Air Force's #1 transport aircraft. The 350
Because honestly, Lava, I'm gonna tell you this right now. What I would have done, every time you know he's gonna throw a Getsuka, use your the guard. I forget what the specific thing is called, but you could probably just use your R1, R2 triangle Yeah, your R2 triangle move. Every time he does a Getsuga. Because even if it does damage, you power through it, and then you get a... You could potentially get a free combo after it. Because at the same time, you could just utilize, okay, you're going to play like this, well, I'm going to play like this because of that. And also, mainly because of playing against you, Lava, I'm learning to time my attacks faster. Oh yeah, I see. I see. This guy was playing like a noodle. Oh my god. Bro, there's literally way too many Getsugas. This second clip starts out with Getsuga. That's crazy.
The 280,000-pound C-17 taxis to the end of the 10,000-foot runway.
My god.
If Laura fails,
Oh. Okay, if you were one of the captains in Bleach, which one are you taking the Shikai and Bankai of? Man, thinking about it, I'm thinking either Komamura or Tozen. Komamura, Tozen, or... Wait, I forget. What was Jushiro? Because I remember he was cool, but he had like a similar, like Shikai and Bankai to what was it, Shunsui? Ooh, nice. Oh nah, yeah, this is well deserved.
50 miles north of J-Bear at Eielson Air Force Base.
All right, I'm done with that match.
Wing, readying the tanker,
Now
is
let me see
battling
this
an
one.
Arctic storm.
Oh my god. You are literally... You know what? I appreciate you for playing like this. Because some of these people need to know, bro. You can't just do this and get away with it. Bro, why? Dude, is he lag switching or something? What is this?
But a frozen runway and a snow-covered plane is keeping them firmly on the ground.
Oh, we are a little bit concerned about the weather today.
Lieutenant Colonel Rick
Oh my god.
is the tanker pilot for today's
This
mission.
dude. Nah, this dude is a noodle. Now, just know, Lava, these are the types of people that Dark would rage at in Marvel Rivals.
40 miles from the Arctic Circle, every year the base is hit by over 66 inches of snow.
I forget how good Ukiura is in this game now. I mean, he has to be one of the high tiers.
This rate of snow accumulation, it's a lot of work just to keep that runway clear.
Turn my brains, let's flip our heads.
Until the runway is clear
Yes.
and the storm eases, they're stuck on the ground.
Okay, Awaken. Oh, yes, yep. Beat his ass, Lava. Don't let this man survive. Yeah. Well deserved. Yeah, screw that guy. Imagine playing like a weenie. Spamming Getsuga attentions for no reason.
Alright, Legacy, go to sleep.
Bro, you're not even in bed. Pause.
That's crazy.
What do you...
Did you know your new favorite burger has hand snatched
Okay, so
patties
we
made
need
to order with hot
ingots.
and melty cheese
Real
and a
bad.
tangy sauce? How rude of me. Let me introduce you.
Oh my
Try the
god,
Sonic
need
Smash and a
ingots.
half-price cookie.
I don't, bro.
Did you know that somebody could literally steal your house? Yeah, that is a thing that happens. It is when a criminal forges your
Okay.
signature on one document, uses
I'm gonna
one
go.
Windows
I'm gonna go
receipt, and
into a
then spends like
dungeon
$30 or
and
$40
get
on
some
the cash
ingots.
recorder. They then take out loans using your home equity as
Okay.
collateral. And the worst part of it is, you don't even know it's happening until you start getting collections and foreclosure notices. Most people don't check on their home title because why would you steal it if you needed to?
You
But
watching the
this right
last part?
here is why you need
Yeah, I
to use
watched the
Home
last
Title
part.
Lock. They
Oh
have
my
a $1
god,
million triple lock protection that helps keep
bro.
your
He
home
he
and
could.
everything
He didn't
safe.
even
If you
know
lose
what to
24/7
do
monitoring
at that
with
point. He was
protection
just like
daily,
taking
urgent
everything.
alerts in case there's any changes in your title. Then, if fraud does happen, they have a US-based restoration team that will spend up to $1 million
Also,
to fix
if
your
you're gonna
phone and
spam, you
restore your
better be
title.
ready
Find
to
out if
deal
you're
with
already
spam
in the know.
yourself.
Go to HomeTitleLock.com now.
Many people told us they'd had stuffed
Like
crust
my
pizza from
goodness.
Domino's before. Only
Honestly,
Domino's
I
has
think
never had stuffed
Ukiora is
crust
one of the
before.
most
We're the
toxic
pizza.
characters in the
Until
game.
now, introducing Domino's new and first ever stuffed
He
crust pizza.
he literally has a
Try
tool
one
for
for the
everything.
first time tonight.
But then again, characters that can revive themselves are also really annoying.
It ain't what you do, it's how you do it. And that goes for anything. You understand?
Find the things you love.
That's how I used to do it.
Welcome to your Walmart.
Verizon and AT&T announced price hikes a total of
What
10
did you need
times
to
in the
do with
past 2 years. Customers can
cows?
switch to T-Mobile and get all the benefits that their plan
Oh,
see 20%. T-Mobile blows the
condense
competition
all the
away.
cows and put them into one.
If there is one health unlock that you should be doing every single day, it is this Armra colostrum. I've been taking it for over a year.
Wait, I
It
didn't.
has
Oh
completely
my
changed
god,
my
I'm
life. I
stupid.
cannot live
I'm so
without it.
stupid.
Not only has it
I
supported
forgot
my
that.
overall gut health and regularity, but my immune system is strengthened so much to keep me resilient. Not to mention, my skin is absolutely glowing. The bioactive food that you need daily in your life. Go to armor.com now.
I'm so dumb, Dark.
In Alaska, more than 200 towns and villages live with zero road access. More than 10% of the population rely on aviation for time-critical deliveries of food,
So you're
medicine,
done or
and more.
dumb?
I'm dumb.
But in a
Why is
state
that?
that takes
I
more
forgot
flights
to.
per person than any other, a
I
lack
forgot to
of
repair my
pilots
stuff
causes hundreds
before I
of
left.
cancellations every year, leaving communities cut
I see.
off from crucial supplies.
Now I gotta go
Right now, we have a
all the way
shortage of
back.
pilots, we have a shortage of mechanics, we have a shortage of
Are you
everything
don't
in
carry your
aviation.
repair kit stuff?
6 miles from Anchorage International,
No, I
at
put
Merrill
that back
Field,
on accident.
Swoop trains Alaska's next generation of aviators.
So that's why we want to warm our engines up.
To me, these classes are so important because this is the lifeline of rural Alaska.
Alright,
And
I'm coming
without
back.
that, they're not going to be able to get supplies into their village, food, heating oil, to get to the doctor.
One of Swoop's star pupils is 22-year-old Nellie Ann Smith.
Nellie Ann is getting close to finishing her private pilot's license.
An Alaska native of the Yupik tribe, she's completed 39 hours of flying lessons.
This will be her 40th hour, which means she'll be eligible to take her pilot license check ride.
I started liking planes when I was 10 years old. That's when I realized I wanted to be a pilot.
Today, Swoop Director of Operations
Wait,
Jamie
where'd you
Lee
find the
will
schematics
test
for
if Nellie
Gill Clock Glove?
is ready to take to the
Gotta unlock
skies
it.
as a licensed pilot.
There's not a lot of native Yupik women who fly. I'm really excited to show everyone what I can do.
The toughest test for any pilot is landing.
go over to Birchwood and check out some of her short field and soft field landings from the ground and see how she does.
Yeah, ground spot 924 Bravo Super Heavy 2.5.
Where was the Gale Claw? Where was that?
Nellie taxis the 67-year-old Cessna 175
should be close
Oh,
to the
there
by.
it
end
is.
of the
Yeah, I see it.
4,000-foot-long runway.
Runway 34 cleared for takeoff. It would be cool to be the first Native woman pilot for my village.
Teaching aviation to rural Alaska new students is really rewarding for generations to come. It's not just for now.
One day I'll be working in the villages flying planes.
Under Jamie Lee's supervision,
I literally need to get
Nellie
back.
pushes the four-seater plane to a takeoff speed of 50 miles an hour. Her destination is Birchwood Airport, 18 miles away.
Oh, this thing is fast.
There you go.
To prove she's ready to take her test, she'll need to ace her landing.
Oh, you're talking about these two? Or
this.
Oh, Lunaris? Yeah. She's good, bro.
No, I'm talking about the freaking Gale Claw.
Oh, I thought you were talking about how quick they're.
Watch, look at this.
Oh my god. Wait, that's fast. Oh, you get to that.
And if you get a Gale Claw with like a fast perks, it goes even faster.
Wait, do you need Gale Claw on your party?
Yeah.
Okay. So are you doing Gale Claw over like your flying pal?
No.
You just happen to like.
I got my 2 main attack, my deer, my Nightwing, my Gale Claw.
Damn, so I either need to put Bushi away or Warsec. I don't know.
It's a very big deal. Worst case scenario.
You know, I'm gonna still have this Gale Claw glove though, because that might come in handy in the future.
The 747 touches down at 170 miles an hour. No one is hurt, but the failed landing gear means the plane can't drive off the runway. Until it's moved, inbound aircraft are stuck in the air, burning through fuel. Emergency crews race toward the blocked runway.
Alright, I need you guys to go ahead and hop out. I'm going to leave you right here.
Bob is one of the first to arrive.
Wait, did you make this ammo in here?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on, I actually drop it.
The plane needs to be towed to safety, but the taxiway is covered in snow.
How much did you make? 40, right?
Alright, Bob. Is there any way you can run a broke through here? You're probably going to have to tow this 47 off.
A fully loaded 747 weighs 900,000 pounds.
Yeah, copy that. We're on the way.
I need to make this makeshift handgun. It's going. Okay, now I'm gonna go out and get some. Back to that cave.
Two sand trucks and the ice truck. That one's dilly dally up to its own. Split around and get back down here.
The runway's been shut for 10 minutes.
Huh?
I sent some.
There are 6 planes in the air.
Look at those.
Because I was going to add. Okay, there we go. They weren't popping up.
And then
So all 4 of these? Yes.
all those go in my box. But no, praise the Lord and
Just one
you see
diversion
Easter
could
song,
cost $150,000.
Brent Jones, Heroes, and Lord I Lift Your Name on High. Those are Easter songs to be sent to the kids. And mark it as Easter songs. The Heroes is for the little ones.
Okay, so only 2 of these songs are going in the Dropbox. And the other 2...
Well, they all gonna go in my box.
So you want them all in the Dropbox?
In my file.
In your file.
But we need to send the music out to the kids.
So you want the Brett Jones one and...
Heroes is for the tiny tots.
Just minutes of fuel remaining. The
Yeah,
next flight,
Heroes.
from
That's the
Seattle.
tiny tots. Don't call them tiny tots, but
Less
whatever
than
they
half
call
an
them.
hour
Then
behind
Lord,
schedule.
Lift Your Name on High is for the regular youth choir. That's for Easter only. Now,
is a cool thing.
for the fourth Sunday, they have a different set of music.
Who will overcome their history to win
It ain't even there yet.
the Challenge
Oh
All
yeah,
Stars Rivals.
Praise the Lord. That's the one Darius is singing.
Mhm.
I have to sing one more. I'm waiting for.
So I'm only making... So I'm making one for all of them.
Yeah, you can just put it all on one email, but break it down what goes with. And then as soon as DeMonte sends the one for President Worship, then I don't know what to do for the first selection. Okay, I might have a tiny tot do that over. Got it?
Hold on.
I have to send it to you again.
Just text it to me.
Wait.
What you mean?
I feel good.
Make one of every
I still
letter.
feel good. We got it. There's so many ways, different compartments in a vehicle where you can hide the drug.
See?
You can put it in a spare tire. You'll find it in a quarter panel
One
the
of
next
every
day.
letter.
Lift up the hood, it could be there. So we can't just focus on one.
This
We
is
have to
mine
focus
you're
on
supposed to fix.
everything.
Did you fix
On
it?
to the next.
This needs to be redone. Looks terrible. I don't want to do another one.
Don't move. Paul, watch behind you. When we approached him here as he got to his car with his girlfriend, he complied. He didn't give us a hard time at all. There was no fight, which was nice, especially when we're worried about guns and silencers. So they got him down, cuffed him real quick.
Okay, coming back with sulfur and some ore. Gonna smelt all that. Well, I'm gonna give you the... Oh, you...
Tower of the Free Pal Alliance.
Yeah, wait, you found it?
No.
Bruh, like...
Bro, I was reading it all. That's what I was reading.
Bro, you got me so excited.
Nothing? Alright. Wanna check the room?
So you have to go there?
Okay. Anything that's gonna hurt you or anything? That's it? Nothing else? No guns, no knives, no nothing? But you're cool with us looking at it? He's giving us permission. Room 117. Second door, yeah. He did admit to which room it was, and we went back and searched that room also.
Negative.
But there was nothing in it. It was just his belongings and his girlfriend's. Yeah, we're cutting the girl loose because she's not part of any of this. Other than that, it's not much we can do. Listen, they found, I think, just some ammo at the house.
Ammo and mag, you think?
Yeah. We'll go back, process the evidence from the other location, the first location this morning, draft all the reports up, get it to the district attorney's office, and he'll have to face the music as a felon in possession of firearms and ammunition.
do here is look under our compound microscope.
And just
And
got
so
another
you can get
Vixie,
a better
but it's
glimpse into
sickly.
what these white
That's fine.
dots are on the leaf. Looking here on the leaf, we see that most of the specks are under the leaf. It seems to me like a scaled insect. Oh, definitely scales. We are going to ship them to USDA. They are our entomologists and our botanists there, and ultimately they will make the decision on whether this is what is called an actionable pest, something that's considered dangerous in a sense.
I'm standing now, and to really use that energy dissipated along the way in a system that allows that distribution to just about all of New York City without pumping is tremendously efficient. They certainly were green well before it became cool to be green.
The water that's coming through the Catskill system is driven completely by gravity, the weight of the water of the reservoir adds pressure to the system that then enables water to flow, and just we turn on our taps and it's like magic.
You know, we really do take it for granted. It took millions of dollars, dozens of years, and thousands of men risking their lives to get that water. And all I have to do is turn on the tap. Bingo, just like that. They said it couldn't be done.
This was a 5-mile wide strait.
In the current, the ice flows.
From dangerous depths.
There were divers that lost their lives.
To harrowing heights.
The catwalk is one of the most frightening things I think I've ever seen in my life.
How they erected the world's longest suspension bridge.
There's no precedent for that, so this would not be an easy task.
They call it the Mighty Mac. I'm Stuart Barney, and this is American Built. Ask anyone for directions in Michigan, and they'll probably point to their hand, like this. But that's only the lower half of the state. It used to be, if you wanted to know how to get to the top half, the answer was, you can't get there from here.
You know, they call Michigan the water wonderland. Whether you're skimming along in a boat or lazing on a bank or fishing for some of the game fish. Yeah, that's my idea of a vacation.
The Upper Peninsula of Michigan is 16,000 square miles of forests and lakes. It's a sportsman's paradise, and it's home to major industries like copper, timber, and tourism.
Well, the UP, as we call it, the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, is a very wild place. It's almost like it's its own country in some ways.
You have this Upper Peninsula that's totally disconnected from the rest of the state. So you want to build community, you want to have one state.
The Great Lakes State is divided by a 5-mile stretch of turbulent water called the Straits of Mackinac.
For those of you unfamiliar with the Straits of Mackinac, it's a 5-mile stretch of water connecting two of our Great Lakes.
Michiganders long wished to bridge the straits, but
some of the experts said impossible.
This was a 5-mile wide strait. The water was 300 feet deep. The currents were tremendous. There was ice in the winter. The winds were horrible.
the only way to go from Mackinac City in the south to St. Ignace in the north was a car ferry. But the ferries couldn't keep up with demand.
As more people are driving, more people are coming to the area, you were seeing 19-hour delays to get an hour-long ferry ride.
And in the winter, things just got worse.
The ferries were having icebreakers, but they were still sometimes getting stuck in the ice, and so that becomes very untenable for the people.
But one particularly bitter voyage changed everything. A frigid and disgruntled commuter thought, there has to be a better way. His name was Prentice Brown.
Prentice M. Brown was a state senator out of St. Ignace who championed the cause for getting a bridge built. He thought that a bridge would be really helpful to the Upper Peninsula.
A bridge over such a vital transportation route would have to make sure not to disrupt traffic.
Your bridge deck had to be high enough to allow for vessel traffic, right? Because it was still a shipping lane.
Most of all, the bridge would have to be extraordinarily long. The shortest distance from Mackinac City to St. Ignace was more than 6 miles. To cut that distance, the Highway Commission jumped the gun. They built a causeway out to the shipping lanes without a budget for a bridge or even a plan in place.
The farthest they got was to build a 1-mile causeway south out of St. Ignace that was in very shallow water that extended into the straits.
But just as a bridge plan started taking shape, it was halted by World War II.
Americans listened and knew that they were no longer just spectators to a war on distant shores. The United States was at war.
There's kind of a prevailing thought that had World War II not occurred, the bridge would have been built in the 1940s.
After the war, Michiganders wanted a bridge, even more.
America was in love with the automobile. And so let's get out and see our country. They wanted to take vacations.
Without a bridge, Michigan couldn't cash in on the post-war boom. So Prentice Brown got to work, leading the Bridge Authority on a search to hire an engineer. And the competition for the job was fierce.
The final 3 that were interviewed were Othmar Ammann. He built the George Washington Bridge in New York. Glenn Woodruff, who built the Oakland Bay Bridge in California, and David Steinman.
Engineer David Steinman had built 400 bridges on 5 continents. And there was something else.
He had grown up in the shadow of the Brooklyn Bridge. As a young boy, he was very much in awe of what the Brooklyn Bridge was.
When it opened 70 years earlier, the Brooklyn Bridge was the world's longest suspension bridge. As the name implies, suspension bridges suspend the roadway with cables from 2 tall towers. This design allows for longer spans. So when New York's majestic bridge opened, even northern Michiganders got inspired.
A store owner in St. Ignace puts an ad out in the newspaper where he superimposes an artist rendering of the bridge over the Straits of Mackinac, kind of saying this could happen here.
But the Brooklyn Bridge was just 1 mile long, and Manhattan's East River was only 80 feet deep.
Mackinac Straits was much deeper. So you weren't looking at drilling down 78 feet, you were looking at drilling down 200 feet.
But Steinman believed it could be done. He proposed a bridge that would sit on 34 underwater piers. The 2 towers would soar 550 feet above the water. The deck would be suspended by hundreds of suspension cables hung from 2 main cables. The unprecedented 5-mile span would make Steinman's bridge the longest suspension bridge in the world. The Bridge Authority loved Steinman's plan.
Early concepts of getting the bridge built were approved by the Michigan legislature, but with the caveat that it not be paid for with public funds. It had to be private funds.
So where to get that kind of money? The answer was again in Lower Manhattan. Steinman and Brown would tap the New York bond market.
And Prentice M. Brown was
Darker, you buy the
got
base.
the money. The bonds had been sold. How do you
Oh,
want
there
it?
you go.
Hold on.
I guess a certified cashier's
Try not to
check
kill
would
all
do.
of them.
They gave him a certified cashier's check for $96,400,033.33.
Brown headed back to Michigan with that check.
I mean, do you want me to just catch one for you?
Wherever they are.
But building a foundation 200 feet below treacherous waters, well, that would be harder than it looked on paper. For starters, most of the piers required at least their own cofferdam.
Cofferdams are an enclosure that you pump the water out so you can do your construction.
But not if the water is too deep. Then you need caissons, pressurized, watertight chambers for great depths.
The 2 main towers, which are basically Pier 19 and 20, use caissons.
These towers would take months to construct, and time was running out. The harsh Michigan winter was approaching.
We have to finish it,
Dang.
but there was
They
just
did
no time. The
damage,
site
it
had to be
seems.
buttoned up and winterized, and it was really kind of a fingers crossed.
Okay, ladies, eyes on the tape.
Who recorded over my game footage?
Oh my god, I need ingots.
Let me see.
Coach, relax. I've got to save
I have 19 ingots.
With one investment,
I'll
you can
drop
access the
them for
NASDAQ
you.
100 innovators who are rethinking the world.
That's
Before
okay.
investing carefully, read and consider fund
Yeah, go.
investment
Take them.
objectives, risks, charges, expenses, and more. Prospectus at Invesco.com.
There is a
Oh,
direct link
Here
between
is
healthy
one
gut
ore.
microbiome and many persistent health concerns. Microbiome health can feel complex and intimidating, but it doesn't have to be. Today, there are things you can do to help improve your gut microbiome.
Alright, I'm gonna be
Spore-based probiotics
traveling
have been proven to
some
support
more.
the growth of our most important health-promoting bacteria, giving us healthier gut function. At Microbiome Labs, they take the guesswork out of the equation through education, comprehensive testing, and evidence-backed product solutions. Microbiome Labs has introduced the first 100% spore-based multi-strain probiotic on the market called Megaspore Biotic. Megaspore Biotic improves immune function and allows you to maintain a healthy gut barrier. To learn more, visit betterbiome.com.
Sail through the heart of historic cities and unforgettable scenery with Viking. Unpack once and get closer to iconic landmarks, local life, and cultural treasures. Because when you experience Europe on a Viking longship, you'll spend less time getting there and more time being there. Viking, exploring the world in comfort.
Sure, millions of people trust Vistaprint to print business cards they love. Yep. But did you know we also print t-shirts? And postcards. And signs. And custom merch. That water bottle is engraved or we print with lasers. At Vistaprint, we print your brand on banners so your customers can notice you, stickers so they can remember you, and everything else your business needs to keep them coming back to you. Right now, new customers get 20% off at Vistaprint.com. Because if you need it, we print it.
Start bidding at $5 million. Robin Hood Gold members get a 3% IRA match. While the wealthy hoard their perks, our retirement contributions are boosted by 3%. Now with Robin Hood Gold.
This is the story of the one. The one knows the unexpected can put everything on the line. But with a teammate like Granger, she's confident that she will always win the day. Call, click, or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
2/3 of the Mackinac Bridge is not visible to the naked eye. 2/3 of the superstructure is actually located beneath the surface of the water.
The towers of the Mackinac Bridge would stand on two 200-foot piers. To build piers that deep, they needed to construct watertight caissons before winter set in. But they also needed a way to dig the caissons through to bedrock. So Steinman sharpened the edges.
He came up with the idea of building giant caissons with beveled carbon steel cutting edges that would sink down through the limestone.
Where the heck is this leading to?
The precise placement of the caissons was critical, but the unpredictable currents fought them the whole way
Just
down.
know I am
So
way out.
Steinman brought in specialists.
Hard hat divers would have to descend to do the inspections, to make the final connections, and in some cases make repairs.
The water was cold, and the depths were extremely dangerous. Steinman learned that from studying the Brooklyn Bridge.
When the Brooklyn Bridge
Oh,
was being
that was
built,
a Nightwing.
there were divers that lost their lives because of getting decompression sickness, the bends.
The bends is a brutal and often fatal condition caused by surfacing too fast.
Because they were using a similar construction methodology for the foundation at the Mackinac Bridge, they actually had hyperbaric chamber that was available on site.
The hyperbaric chamber brought divers up slowly while gradually adjusting the pressure. But despite Steinman's efforts, the first casualty on the bridge was a diver named Frank Pepper. Unfortunately, he would not be the last. Every man on the bridge understood the dangers, and everyone knew it would only get worse as it got colder.
You had a variable winter window that was going to be a shutdown. So how do you pick your stopping points so that you don't lose time, you don't have damage?
To save time, Steinman tried a new way to lay concrete.
When you use concrete, you have to mix it. You don't mix it inside the caisson. But essentially, that's what they did.
Instead of mixing the concrete and then pouring it, they did the reverse.
They used self-unloading boats to rapidly discharge
I'm
post
just
aggregate up to
walking
2,500
past.
tons per hour, which was very, very fast
Just a
unloading.
innocent bystander.
After the aggregate, they pumped in the grout.
Which is really, if you think about how we build bricks, you have the bricks and then you apply the mortar, and that's really how the caissons were built.
This method made even stronger concrete because the materials didn't separate, and it was much faster. But if working in the water was dangerous, working 40 stories above it was just plain crazy.
How's it going over there, Dark?
Iron workers are a culture unto themselves.
Away.
They're fearless.
The future of banking, tariffs, the economy, and the Fed. What it means for your money. Brian Moynihan has exclusive insight tomorrow on the Cleveland
good? I see.
Customize and save at Liberty Mutual. Will I be? Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Did I read this? Did I get eggs? Where are my keys?
Don't wait while memory and thinking issues pile up. These issues may seem like normal aging, but could be due to a buildup of amyloid plaques in the brain. Amyloid can build up over time. The sooner you talk to your doctor, the more options you may have. Visit amyloid.com for additional information.
Oh, don't forget, dinner with my boss.
New Ultimate Adhesive will save the day. New Polygrip Ultimate All-in-One. Gives superhuman home, food safe, and comfort.
If your mouth could talk, it would ask for
Polygrip.
Such a fat ass crunch, bro. I hear that crunch. Have
Bennett's was founded in 1819.
you
It was
use your
named after
entire
Governor Thomas
jaw?
Bennett. It's a small community and just a great place to live.
We have a sense of place that involves history and people. People are our best asset.
No matter where you go, you feel welcome.
How you doing? Good morning.
We future-proof this town at least 20 to 30 years.
That's opportunity right there. That makes the playing field level now.
How you doing, kid? It's gonna be 5480 today.
High-speed internet. It's a game changer.
We need access to high-speed internet, and if you would just tap right there for me, and that's exactly what Spectrum has provided for us.
High-speed broadband internet, it can open up the whole world to them. I think it means everything. Even though we're in a small town, they don't really have much to connect to the rest of the world.
This is the beginning of it right here, Spectrum.
I'm not just saying this to say it. Spectrum is truly an awesome company.
We are Marlboro County. I'm looking forward to what's next in the future.
See, Legacy Spectrum is an awesome company.
What are you doing right now?
If you're happy and you know it's all big and bright.
Spectrum is an awesome company. The 50-50, bro.
Yep, they love you, man.
No, bro, they don't love me.
Increases mobility and boosts circulation. Call and get upgraded to the deluxe bundle. Get the faster motor or 5 miles of steps per hour, the step counter, the sport mat, and wireless remote. Call now.
Iron workers are a culture unto themselves. They're fearless.
Okay.
They climb. They work at heights. They work with heavy equipment.
On top of the caissons, the ironworkers would rivet the towers of the Mackinac Bridge together in sections. Eventually,
Oh, I
those
wonder what's over
towers would soar
here.
550 feet above the turbulent water. To improve safety on site, engineer David Steinman believed in rehearsal off site.
Your ironworkers have put this tower together before. They just put it together horizontally.
They completely prefabricated the towers on land, then took them apart before they floated them in sections up to the straits. But the work down on the
Alright,
water was
I
never
need to
finished.
get a bunch
The
of
entire
leather.
structure depended on base plates that were just 4 inches high.
It is critical because if this base plate isn't set straight and true, your column is not going to be set straight and true.
Leveling the base plates was a harrowing job.
It comes in a crane from a derrick on a barge, so you're kind of moving around. You've got wave and wind coming at you, and you have to set this true because this is going to be the base of your entire tower.
Once the plates were secure,
Wait a minute.
ironworkers were ordered to mount the
Lavanders
first tower sections
drop
from the
cake
same barge,
suspicious.
but the rolling
Wait,
deck
seeking a
made it
night of
impossible.
love. It always chases someone around. At first, it only shows interest in other pals, but in recent years, even humans have become the target of its debauchery. Oh.
All summer and into the fall,
This is the
workers inched
Predator
up and into the Michigan
pal.
sky, bolting in place 13,000 tons of steel. The topmost piece was installed 552 feet above the straits.
Just like today, that's called a topping off, and the American flag was flown, and that was a really big day.
Like, so we need to make a catchers or get one.
He's kind of surprised when the steel workers say to him, "Oh, you're coming
Yeah,
up to the tower."
when you kill an enemy, it drops double materials if you have a catchers.
Oh.
350 feet below, the roadway of the bridge would be suspended by hundreds of vertical cables. Those would hang from a pair of beefy main cables 24 inches in diameter. To hang those cables, the crew had to construct a temporary sidewalk in the sky. Instead of heavy steel, they tried something lighter.
They hoisted big rolls of chain link fence.
What the heck is a Suzaku? Level 40? Oh no.
You should go fight it.
The height was a problem. Being over the water was a problem.
I can find a level 30, but a level 40?
One of the most frightening things I think I've ever seen in my life.
You're smoking
Bouncing
something.
40 stories above the water, two
Plus,
men
I'm trying to
met
find
to
a
mark the
respawn.
completion of the catwalk with a high wire handshake. And the aerial
I have
acrobatics were
found
just beginning.
Robin Quill
To create
Terras,
the
though,
enormous cables
in this
between the
biome.
towers, they used a giant spinning
A
wheel.
lot of
The wheel
Toko
deposited 8
Tokos.
small wires with every round trip, but it would take 12,000 of these
A
wires to make
Dinosaur
each million
Lux?
cables. A single spinning wheel would never get the job done
Oh,
before the ice
you're the
set in.
Ray Hound.
So, Steinman added a second.
One would run north to south, one would run south to north.
I might
And they
even
would
try to
always
get
meet
you,
right in the middle. It was that highly defined an operation.
You know what? I now know the area you're
Wheels
in,
threatened
though.
to knock a man off the catwalk, so somebody got creative.
They put a cowbell on the spinning wheel so that every time it rotated, there would be this clanking of the cowbells to alert workers.
This was one case where nobody in his right mind would ask for more cowbell. The cabling crew spun an astonishing 42,000 miles of cable in just 78 days.
Very much
Daisy. Oh my god.
Bro, I thought I muted my mic.
Nah, no you did. You knew what you were doing.
Now, the catwalk was no longer necessary.
Bro, you scared me. I thought that was the monsters.
Once the cables were
That is crazy.
were actually taken back and reused as suspender.
Wait, there's a building over here.
Suspender cables go down and are connected to
Oh, are
the
there
actual
people?
bridge deck, and that's what holds that up.
They hung steel suspender ropes to support the roadway.
Oh, there's a respawn.
They
Let's
laid the
go.
roadway in 89 sections held up by steel
41?
The
Oh my
deck
god,
panels
get
were
me out of here,
specifically
bro.
designed for rapid
casual demons
The
just
trucks were
flying around here.
prefabricated in St. Ignace and delivered to the bridge on massive barges. Once they were suspended
37.
precisely in place, they had to be filled with concrete,
30.
one section at a time.
Instead of you
Get me
having
outta
to have
here.
a wooden form that you poured the concrete in,
Freaking
it was a
Nightwing's
steel
level
plate
40
that was
over
part of
here.
your structure.
But the updrafts off the straits were brutal. A 4-lane concrete roadway would act like a sail. And
Doom
one
Shelter.
harrowing image from
Okay.
a suspension bridge
I
out
found
west
people,
was
finally.
seared into everyone's mind.
The bridge shook so badly, and there were cars on it, and it finally just disintegrated.
Can a personal loan unlock your ambitions? Oh yeah. Consolidate bank debt and save money for your next goal. Take a ceiling-level kitchen loan. Meant that literally. Or design your actual dream wedding. All your ambitions, all in one app. SoFi Personal Loans. Low fixed rates. Borrow up to 100K. No fees required. Go to SoFi.com to view your rate. SoFi. Get your money right.
Scoping out defense tech. Go inside the latest developments. Which ones would be best for America? Joe Lonsdale
Yo,
has
you could
insight
buy
on winning
brain
Korea.
hounds here?
Then getting down to business in
Man,
China.
but they
After
cost so
his trip to talk
much.
trade and tariffs, Steve Daines reveals details on Barney.
Man, I need Miss Makeshift or ancient relic things.
Ancient relic.
No animal should live this way.
Oh,
But as long as they do, and as long as they continue to suffer, then we have to keep asking
Multi-climate
for your
undershirt?
support. So
Oh,
please,
it's for
help
heat
today.
and cold
Help
resistance. Wait, that's
rescue
kind of
an
useful.
animal from despair and
Yeah,
relieve
where are you
their
at?
suffering.
Bro,
Visit this
I have
website,
been
call the toll-free
traveling.
number, or scan the code on your screen. Donate just $19 a month. That's only 63 cents a day to rescue an animal like Toby, who's suffering in silence. Just scan the code you see here on your screen, or you can visit our website.
Why don't you come sit by me, Siggy?
Sign up in the next 5 minutes, and we'll send you this
I'm
welcome
out.
kit with this ASPCA t-shirt.
Leaving me already, Sydney?
Animals like Toby have suffered for far too long. But today is the day you can change everything and give an animal the happy
Oh,
ending.
high quality cloth. Thank you. Okay. Alright, Dark. I'll be right back. I gotta head out.
Alright.
Big deals in the world of big food. What Rexy's latest move may signal for the future. Plus, Trump's tariff threats. Explore what they mean for the markets, your portfolio, and American industries. Oswald Demotorin has insight for investors on Barron's Roundtable. Brought to you by Global X, beyond ordinary ETFs.
The steel structure began to sway. It rocked and heaved with a wave-like motion as cables snapped and the Tacoma Bridge plunged into Puget Sound 190 feet below.
Tacoma Narrows was a suspension bridge that collapsed from wind pressure. It wasn't a particularly fast wind, it just was the wrong wind.
The Tacoma Bridge disaster terrified Michigan residents.
So engineers like Steinman were rewriting, the narrative on suspension bridges.
Engineer David Steinman designed the Mackinac Bridge roadway to let the wind through.
When you look at the roadway, the two outer lanes are solid and the two inner lanes are a grid. So that opening grid allows air or allows wind to flow through.
He wanted it to be able to cooperate with Mother Nature.
But the winds across the Straits of Mackinac are notoriously fickle. So Steinman also designed his bridge to move with them.
The bridge can flex. It doesn't sway like a swing. It flexes. It just can stretch out.
To allow the bridge to expand and contract, Steinman connected the sections of road like interlocking hands. They called these finger joints.
There are 31 finger joints in the Mackinac Bridge that allow the bridge to stretch.
Once all the sections were in place, Michiganders finally had their bridge. And oh, was it worth the wait?
It was a joyous occasion. There were parades, there were festivities to celebrate the opening of the Mackinac Bridge.
The man who scored the $96 million check to build the bridge collected the first toll to start paying Wall Street back.
Prentice M. Brown put on a toll collector's cap, and he was going to accept the check as the toll collector for a staged photograph. And as they finished that, Brown turned around and gave the check to the real toll collector, and he said, "Sir, we don't accept checks at the Mackinac Bridge."
The 5-mile bridge was nicknamed the Mighty Mac. It launched a new era for Michigan's economy. A journey that once took hours now took minutes.
I can remember the first time I crossed the Mackinac Bridge, and it was such a thrill to be up that high in the air and to see the water so far down below and to see ships way down below us.
For the first time, I think a lot of Michigan residents really think of themselves as one state.
The Mackinac Bridge opened in November, right in the middle of hunting season. Tens of thousands of sportsmen drove across. The first deer to walk across was honored with a special plaque.
Would be the best and the gnarliest builders that the country has to offer, all culminating for their swan song.
The ultimate deal maker.
He's looking at this master plan. And this is his last crowning project.
The master builder.
A true rock star in bridge design in America.
And the men who risked it all.
It's incredibly dangerous.
The riveting process is pretty brutal.
Burned hands and stabbed knees and broken backs.
How they spanned the turbulent narrows.
On the borderline of almost being impossible.
Building the Verrazano Bridge. I'm Stuart Varney, and this is American Built. New York is a city of bridges. By the middle of the 20th century, New Yorkers could drive to 4 of the city's 5 boroughs, but one borough was still a boat ride away.
Staten Island is cut off from the other 5 boroughs except for the Staten Island City.
The city of New York, the population was exploding. There was nowhere else to build. And Staten Island offered the opportunity for the city to expand.
Staten Island was growing. That familiar orange ferry couldn't keep up.
The only way you could get in and out to Manhattan or to Brooklyn was the ferry system. These ferries were strained and at times unreliable.
If Staten Island could link to Brooklyn, it would be connected to the rest of the city.
I think everyone agrees that Brooklyn and Staten Island should be connected. It has been debated for decades, so it was time to
That meant spanning a mile-long stretch of turbulent water known as the Narrows.
Generations of New Yorkers had always envisioned doing something there, right? But the engineering skill hadn't gotten there, the construction skill had not gotten there, the political will had not gotten there.
That political will arrived in the form of Parks Commissioner Robert Moses.
Robert Moses is a force of nature in New York.
So Moses knew how to keep things down.
Robert Moses, he's looking at this master plan.
I guess so.
He does everything from the George Washington Bridge to
Look at group chat. Look at that trash.
Lincoln Center. All these things happened because he had the will, to kind of push things through.
Moses had a grand vision of a totally connected New York.
And this is his last crowning project.
So he built this model to show exactly what would go where. And here we have Fort Hamilton, and on the other side we have Fort Wadsworth, which also covers a fair amount of ground.
The trouble was, the US military didn't want a bridge there.
one of the big issues was getting the Department of the Army to agree, first of all, even allow a structure to span what really was the entrance to New York Harbor.
The Army wanted a tunnel under the Narrows, but Robert Moses wouldn't have it.
Moses was a bridge builder. He didn't really care for tunnels. He didn't think tunnels were like sufficiently monumental to mankind.
The power broker cut deals for land on both sides of the Narrows, but he couldn't build just any bridge there.
The New York Harbor is the face of New York to the world, so you cannot have multiple piers crossing. You really were stuck with two.
You're talking about something that would have to be over a mile in length. So really, to provide that kind of main span clearance, the only viable option really was the suspension bridge.
The suspension bridges are the longest bridges.
A suspension bridge supports the
You
roadway
should
from
buy it.
cables strung across the towers
Why?
and tied into the shore.
There are three main elements to a suspension bridge: the anchorage, the towers, and the roadway.
No.
And they all have to be completely in sync.
But at the same time,
No one had ever built a suspension bridge with a 1 mile span, so Moses turned to his longtime collaborator, Othmar Amman.
He was really a legendary figure in the world of bridge engineering.
Well, Othmar Amman is a true rock star in bridge design in America. He had been involved in many of the New York bridges, notably the GW, which is, at the time it was built, the longest suspension bridge in the world.
So he becomes Robert Moses' bridge engineer. That's his guy. And this Verrazano Narrows Bridge is really their swan song.
And so he was kind of priming himself throughout his career to take on what would be his grandest challenge.
The bridge over the Narrows would have to be longer than the George Washington. It also had to be much higher.
The towers are placed in the way they are because they had to be out of the way of shipping.
The deck has to be high because anything that's coming into New York Harbor is coming under this bridge.
Amman's towers would have to be quite tall without blocking the skyline.
He was very concerned about the visual of New York Harbor, which he didn't want to build a bridge that was heavy in New York Harbor that would take away from the beauty of the harbor itself.
His first design didn't make it past the living room.
I love the story about Amman working on the design and his wife looking at the tower and saying, "Don't repeat yourself."
Wait,
That looks
Legacy, what level are you?
Washington." And he goes back to
oh,
the
I'm in the
drawing
desert
board and
area.
comes up with the
I said, what level are you?
very minimalist
Currently, yeah, I'm level 26.
Amman's
I
revised
need
design
you to make me an
included
SMG.
spanning more than 60 stories out of the Narrows.
Makeshift
The
SMG.
cables would hold a double-deck roadway more than 20 stories above the water. The length and the height would set records.
Well, let me get these ores and then I'm
ingots.
coming back.
Bedrock is very, very deep there. It was an old saying from old geotechnical engineers: the deeper you go in the soil, the closer to hell you get.
Instead of driving piles all the way to bedrock, Amman decided to build his foundation.
Also, we gotta go to the desert, bro. This place is crazy.
Desert.
Caisson is basically it's a box that you would start at the surface, and then you lower the caisson or the box into the soil.
So a caisson is basically a really wide pile, except you're not going down deep because your strength is relying on the fact that you're engaging so much area. Think about a snowshoe. When you step in the snow on your foot, you sink right in. If you have a snowshoe and you've expanded more snow under your foot, then you don't.
But these giant snowshoes had to sink deep into the mud, so Amman cut holes in them called dredge wells.
A dredge well is this circular opening, and the clamshell bucket would be lowered down through the dredge wells, and you're excavating below the box. So you're creating a void below. That allows the caisson to sink through the soil. As they excavate the soil below, the caisson, they keep adding weight to it, and it sinks through the soil.
So even that in itself is dangerous. The men have to concrete from inside and way down, almost like a construction shaft.
The caissons were just the beginning. High above the roiling Narrows, they had to assemble the massive towers.
The riveting process is pretty brutal. The heat, the smell, and then the noise.
Progressive makes it easy to see if you can save money with a commercial auto quote online, so you can get back to your monster to-do list.
Super helpful.
See if you can save money at progressivecommercial.com.
Thank you.
Okay, I need
Stuck paying off
40
your phone,
ingots.
but want a new one? Break up with your carrier. We've got you. Switch to Verizon.
Dark,
and
bring
we'll give you up
as
to
many
$800
ingots
to
as
pay
you
off your
can.
phone. And you'll get a new iPhone. That's iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence on us. On any plan. Now with Genmoji.
Is there like an ingot ore farm?
Yes, but we need to. Hold on.
You might know Harbor Freight for affordability.
Okay.
What you
To
might not know
to get
is
it,
performance
we
and
must
durability
defeat
go right
the
along
Tower
with it.
of Free
You
Pal
see,
Alliance.
test,
We
and
have
then
to get
we
that
test
in order
again.
to
World-class engineer.
in order for me to craft it.
Sure, our tools perform at the highest level and stand the test of
Alright, I
time
can look it
without
up.
testing.
Where it is.
Now, it's time for you to put us to the test. Whatever you do it for less at Harbor Freight.
Wait, did you unlock the Gobfin's turf?
Do you see anything unusual?
Gobfin's turf.
Yeah. It's like basically right above the oil rig.
No, I didn't go that way.
Okay, we need to go that way. Because it is up in this area. Like, right? It's like way farther forward than the oil rig. So we just need to go straight from the oil rig. We can get that.
There's been a big trend in narcotics being smuggled through machine parts, so it's worth a look.
Alright, it twists right off.
Actually, should I say it?
What's in
I think
there?
that would be
I guess so.
That don't make sense.
Now again, it's a 50-50.
As a magician, I'm searching for people with amazing abilities that I know I won't find anywhere else in the world, who will teach me things that I didn't even know were possible. And anything can go wrong.
Crossing fingers.
Heart rate's going. I find something unexpected.
No!
What do you mean, no?
A real meal deserves a real dessert.
No, it didn't work.
$7 meal deal.
What do you mean it